Swastiastu. Good afternoon, the honorable adjudicators, the officials, and all people present in here. Before I continue with the Dharmawacana, I would like to praise Ida Sang Hyang Widiwasa. Because of His grace, we are able to stand here to participate in the tapping of Utsawa Dharmawacana that is accompanied by Utsawa Dharmagita the 14th in 2021, located in Bandung. In this special occasion, I would like to deliver a Dharmawacana entitled Tri Hita Karana as a Foundation for a Peaceful Life in this World. My beloved Hindus, as we may know, there are a lot of problems that we face in this world. Some stood up for me. Number one, Westernization. Globalization made our younger generation appeal more to Western values, cultures, and tradition, which in turn made us lose our own tradition and our own treasure. Second is global warming. Recently, due to global warming and climate change, there is a big flood that hit our family in Lembata, East Nusa Tenggara, which created a lot of IDPs, or known as internally displaced persons. That is 21,732 citizens that is affected by the flood according to the official documents that has been released by the government of Lembata. Ladies and gentlemen, the third problem is social disintegration. That happens because of miscommunications and insensitivity of people interacting with one another. Those problems alone already created such a bad impact in our lives. How can we as Hindus prevent or at least lessen the effects of those problems? Worry not, my beloved Hindus. In Hinduism literature, there is a concept called Tri Hita Karana. It is three relationship or cases that causes the sense of security in our life. There are three parts of Tri Hita Karana. The first one is Parahyangan. Parahyangan derives from the word Hyang, which means Hyang Widiwasa. Definition is God. Parahyangan is the relationship between us and God. It is everything that we stand for when we do our rituals and ceremonies. We do our rituals and ceremonies to serve and to show Ida Sang Hyang Widiwasa our own faith. To quote Atharwaweda chapter 10.8 that said, Tot sumbuya buati ekam ewa. It means Ida Sang Hyang Widiwasa is the main character of this world. Ida Sang Hyang Widiwasa is also known as Sang Sangkan Paraning Dumadi that created the world along with its contents. What does that tell us, my beloved Hindus? It tells us that we should be faithful towards Ida Sang Hyang Widiwasa because He has created us and this world. In this day and age, there are so many ways for us to understand Dharma and to remember our own culture. For an example, Instagram. There is an account in Instagram called Instagram filsafat_Hindu that shares Dharma in their feeds and open up religious discussions on their comment section. Thus, it is easier for us to understand Dharma and to remember our own God. Just like the content of Yajurveda chapter 31, sloka 18. Domewa widituati mertium eti. Meaning just by remembering our God, we could get the safety welfare we deserve. Second is palemahan. Palemahan derives from the word lemah, which is soil. Atharwaveda has spoken. Mata bumi utro aham pertiwiya, bandur no mata pertiwi mahi iam. Meaning Jagat or nature is known as our own mother and we exist here as her child. It is very important to take care of the environment just like we care about our own mother. There is an interesting example in Niti Sastra. Singa raksandeng alas, alas ike ngerakseng ari nityasa. Meaning the lion guards the forest and the forest also protects the lion. The imagery has a very deep meaning, ladies and gentlemen, because both are protecting each other. The lion gains protections from the forest, and the forest also can get protection from the lion in case anything bad happens with it. I would like to quote Yajurveda chapter 13, sloka 18. And that is, Pratiwim Dharma, Pratiwim Mahimsi. Meaning we need to provide the fertilizer for our environment. But what can we do as people, as Hindus? The easiest thing we can do is to participate in local NGOs in your house or in your place to create, let's say, social campaigns to shift to renewable energies or to use eco-friendly products. For example, metal straws. Yes, metal straws is really effective in cutting plastic in our world, which reduce global warming. Third, last but not least, is pawongan. Pawongan derives from the word wong, which means human. We are social beings. We need to interact with one another. That is why Hinduism taught us a concept called Tat Dwam Asi. I am you and you are me. We learned the concept of sagile sagulok salunglung sabayantake, paras paros sarpenaya saling asah, asih aso, which are the implementation of Tatuam Asi. But it can only be implemented successfully by doing three kaya parisuda. In Hinduism literature, there is a concept of thinking something good, saying something good, and act or do something positive. In Trikaya Parisuda, there are three parts: Manachika, Wachika, and Kaika. Manachika is the way we think good and positive things. Wachika is the way we say good and noble things. Lastly, Kaika is the way we act around people positively. Something worth noting is that Indonesia has 25 different language groups and over 250 different dialect groups. So we can understand the trajectory of our own diversity and our pluralism. And that is why social disintegration would be so easy to happen. And that is why we need to implement Tri Hita Karana to prevent that to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be ready to defend our nation. Yajurveda has reminded us, Wayam rastre jagriyama purohita, wayam tubyam balihertam shama. Meaning we should preserve our body and soul, and that is why we should be ready to defend our nation, Indonesia. To conclude the Dharmawacana that I had been delivered, the first one, Trihita Karana is three relationship or causes that could cause sense of security in our life. Second, with Parahyangan, we could resolve the problem of westernization and globalization because we can engulf more on activities that has something to do with tradition and culture. Third, with Palamahan, we could resolve the problem with global warming simply because we would take care of the environment better. Last but not least, with Pawongan, we could resolve our problem with social disintegration. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not here to force you with my own ideas, but it would be better if together we implement Tri Hita Karana to achieve our happiness. Boksartam Jagadita Yacha Iti Dharma. With that, I would like to end my Dharmawacana with Paramasanti. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Om.